Hello everybody and welcome back to a new mech video. This time we're with the Supernova 90-ton Clan Assault. It's a standard battle mech, which means you can upgrade everything from the armour to engines and heat sinks and weapons and all that. No omnipods. Just showing you there's a quick overview of it where I upped the armour, the engine went up a bit because I added endo steel, and I think there's an extra heatsink in the engine. Other than that, it's all the same weapons. There's no extra equipment on there. So the Supernova is as I said, a 90-ton Clan Assault, created specifically by Clan Novacat way back when in the 2800s. It's actually a derivative of the King Crab and is not a larger, heavier version of the Nova, even though the two kind of share similarities. The Nova was inspired by the Supernova, which is kind of odd name-wise, but yeah, it's based on the King Crab, where autocannon ammo there wasn't particularly plentiful, so they had to come up with some kind of retrofit, and that's what they came up with. Something that was about 10 tons lighter and used all energy weapons, so it didn't have to worry about refits and rearmament. And so, MechWarrior Online, it's really fucking hot. Right from the get-go. I jumped straight to the fight in this one because it's polar, and the reason I did that is because Polar Highlands in a mech that runs at 50 kph is really fucking boring for about 3 or 4 minutes while you're stomping across snows. So yeah, straight into the fight, and I quickly discovered that you can get about 2 salvos before you're about 90 to 93% heat, even on a cold map. So if you're going to run it stock, best option is fire all of its weapons on the, say, the right arm and the left arm, and then use the other arm as a single shot or chain fire. That way you can at least keep out a pretty decent damage amount and not have to worry too much about overheating. But it's still very, very prone to it, and it wouldn't surprise me if people come up with far more efficient builds within a few short days. Biggest weaknesses of the standard Supernova is its arms. Blow them off, it's got no weapons. It's basically just a 90-ton paperweight then, and even if you do open up the side torsos, you're likely to crit most of its heat sinks because it's got shitloads of them in the left and right torso. That said, it's an interesting design because you can whack in a pretty big engine and you can stick jump jets on it, which for an assault mech is quite nice, obviously, like the Highlander and a couple of others of its ilk. The standard one only has 3 jump jets, so the jump height is pitiful. Again, you may just want to remove them for the extra weight that it'll free up for things like heat sinks. And hitbox wise, what I noticed is if you get in the face of anything like a Kodiak or an ultraviolet with UAC 2s, it's got a pretty big chest hitbox, or at least it felt that way, but it can tank. It can take quite a lot of damage before it died. I ran about 3 or 4 rounds in it, and the first one was a bit of a wash, but the rest of them were quite good, actually. And the damage output's really nice from a stock version, as I said, and it's 60R large lasers, it's a no-brainer. You already see that kind of build on things like Stalkers, so clan versions of this just do umpteen amount of damage. And if you catch somebody in the with their back turned, yeah, they're pretty screwed. If they're not outright dead, they're going to wish they are. As a note, the other variants that are in the game, that they added the A, the B and all that, they are apocryphal. So they are strictly PGI variants that they made up, because most of the actual canon variants, bar one I think, uses like ATM 9s and heavy large lasers and all that crazy shit that will be added later on. So maybe we'll see the other variants in the summer or later this year when they add the 3060 tech. But as it stands at the moment, the current Supernova variants they've added are just made up stuff for PGI. So I'll probably be selling mine so I can free up some mech base for legit variants. Yay! Outside of that, this is the quiet part of the match where I thought, oh yeah, better show the cockpit and the outside of the mech. So I was using the special variant that comes with the Supernova colour scheme. It has stars and nebula gas clouds and stuff on it. It looks okay. And this is the actual cockpit. It's quite roomy. It's got a nice view. I mean, for what it is, it's a pity there isn't, more realistic functions there, like being able to manipulate the controls and stuff, but it isn't that kind of game. It's not a simulator. Let's not go that far. Jesus. So yeah, Supernova, in my opinion, if you like assault mechs, this is quite good. All energy, so it's pretty straightforward, and the other variants come with ballistics and missiles, so there's a few options there. It's much like the Kodiak and the other 2 C-mechs out there, is you don't have to worry about omnipods limiting your choices. You can go crazy with it, do whatever you like. Haven't tried the hero mech, so I don't know what that'll be like. They'll probably appear. The hero will appear in a chassis variant video that I'll do, and I'll try and build the only legit version that's out there, which I think is the Supernova 3, and I'll do a video of that. So thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you have a good week. Let us know what you think of the Supernova, and I'll catch you on the next video. So yeah, bye. Say bye, bro.
Bye.
Bye.